Tropical Storm Melissa is approaching Jamaica currently with winds of 65 miles per hour, gusting to 85 miles per hour, pressure of 992 millibars, and is moving west-southwest at a whole 3 miles per hour. Here's the forecast. We have it becoming a hurricane pretty soon, and within the next 24 hours, we'll probably reach Category 2 intensity. At that point, intensification will really ramp up and will peak likely on Monday afternoon as a Category 5. We estimate winds of 165 miles per hour, and it will strike Jamaica probably early on Tuesday as a strong Category 4, and then it will move on to Cuba, probably make landfall as either a low-end Category 4 or high-end Category 3, and it will move on to the Bahamas after that, still probably a Category 3 5 days out. Here's the wind field. It is not the largest storm ever, but it is not small at all. It is larger than average storm, and the wind field is continuing to get larger as the storm continues to intensify. It is currently 177 miles away from the capital of Jamaica, Kingston, 239 miles away from the capital of Haiti, Port-au-Prince, 255 miles away from Montego Bay on the other side of Jamaica, 275 miles away from Santiago de Cuba on the southern coast of Cuba, and 324 miles away from Manzanillo. Here are the watches and warnings. Hurricane warning in effect for Jamaica right now, and all airports in Jamaica have closed, so if you haven't evacuated from Jamaica, you're stuck on the island. And tropical storm warning and hurricane watch in effect for the southwestern coast of Haiti. Here's the wind threat, the green denoting tropical storm force winds for central and southeastern Cuba, most of the Turks and Caicos Islands, and southwestern Haiti. The yellow represents hurricane force winds for one island of the Turks and Caicos Islands, part of southeastern Cuba, and part of Jamaica, and red indicates major hurricane force winds, which is most of Jamaica, southeastern Cuba, and one island of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Sea surface temperatures will certainly not be a problem for the storm. It is currently over 30 degrees Celsius waters, that is 86 degrees Fahrenheit for you filthy Americans. Here are the primary hazards. Our main problem currently is heavy rainfall. Due to Melissa's slow movement, maximum rainfall values will be at least 25 inches. The highest rainfall values will likely be on Jamaica, but western Haiti could also receive in excess of 20 inches. Rainfall values this high are capable of causing catastrophic flash flooding and significant landslides. We are also worried about damaging winds almost as much as the rainfall. Winds in excess of 130 miles per hour are expected on Jamaica as Melissa makes landfall, likely as a strong Category 4. These type of winds are capable of completely flattening mobile homes, breaking and tossing tree limbs, damaging concrete foundation, and turning debris into flying projectiles. Wind gusts could potentially get as high as 160 miles per hour. All the agencies are in alignment at 65, but we only have the NHC and the GFS from what I could find. And the NHC's last advisory was about an hour and a half ago as of the time I'm recording this. And I do not know when the GFS's last advisory was, but the GFS was stuck on this hitting Haiti for a while. But let's go look at the model runs now, because there were some wacky model runs a few days ago. Here is the H-Wharf model run. They are currently saying 989. They have this making landfall pretty much directly over Kingston there as only a Category 3 hurricane, and moving up, striking Cuba a little bit west of Santiago de Cuba. That's also probably a Category 3 hurricane, and moving through the Turks and Caicos. H-Mon. Well, that's lovely. HAFSA has 916 millibar peak, about 919 at landfall. That is pretty much directly south of Montego Bay. And that is fairly significant weakening. 919 down to low 940s. And that is a Cat 4 landfall in Cuba and a Cat 3 landfall in the Turks and Caicos Islands. After that, it just speeds off into the Atlantic. HAFSB, this is the one that was high on something the other day. They were forecasting a pressure in the 880s, and we literally only have one frame. That's lovely. GFS? What is wrong with the sites? ECMWF, these are the wimps. They underestimate everything, although, yeah. 950 millibar peak, 959 at landfall, and 961 at landfall in Cuba, and only a Category 1 hurricane by the time it emerges over the Turks and Caicos. I can guarantee it will be stronger than that. So here is Melissa, a big convective burst in the center there, you can see. And these sharp gradients here typically is a sign of wind shear, so the storm likely is battling some wind shear right now. But very high cloud tops. They were extremely high at one point earlier. Right here, that is minus 95 degrees right there. And still very, very high. Still up into the minus 80s and a few spots of about minus 90. But the storm, it has some wind shear to deal with for probably about the next 6 to 12 hours, but past that, this storm is just gonna explode. But yeah, the storm looks very good on satellite imagery. It's still got some wind shear to deal with, got some sharp gradients. So to the west there, doesn't really look like too much wind shear on pretty much any sides aside from the west. The north, the east, and the south all look fine. It's mostly just the west that has some wind shear to deal with, but it'll clear that environment soon. And then this storm is going to viciously violate Jamaica. Yeah, that's it for this update on Melissa. Let's go ahead and go to the global tropics now. Here are the global tropics. The main feature, of course, is Tropical Storm Melissa. Tropical Storm Chang, still active in the Southwest Indian Ocean, although that's well on its way out now. And Tropical Depression 18E was designated in the Eastern Pacific yesterday, the 20th tropical cyclone of the Eastern Pacific season. Yeah, that is it for this update. Like, subscribe, and goodbye.